Welcome back to Slice Life, episode 8. This week we take you on a journey with us for things that may have went wrong this week, some repairs that we've had to make, and also some general maintenance and why it's important. That and more this week on the Slice of Life. Fixing the soap dispenser. It's little things, man. This motor here broke on it, so it's not dispensing properly for some reason. So we got a spare part. We're gonna try and replace it out.
Okay, I need the piece that goes in there. No, you're gonna break. You're gonna break. You're gonna break.
No.
Break that black piece. I don't have another one of these.
Okay, we need a screwdriver. Please fit. Yeah, let's go.
Charging $50.
Get out of here. I told you to save this piece if you don't recall. Mister, let's throw it away. Please work. That wasn't the way it was supposed to happen. That's in there. Yeah, I'm out of options. I'm calling the boss. Owning a pizza restaurant, you know, it has its ups and downs. Some of the downs is when your equipment breaks. We experienced that quite a bit this week. We had several pieces of equipment not be too friendly with us. We also had an install that kind of went a little sideways. So we're gonna take you along that journey. Let's check it out, what went wrong this week. So, the beginning of this week started with the installation of our dish machine. We bought this machine, it's been in the works for 5-6 months now. It's been a really long process of getting this machine here. This is a Hobart brand new conveyor unit. This thing will allow us to really ramp up our production of dishes. This thing can do about 280 racks an hour compared to our old machine was about 38. With our old setup, we would have people hand washing dishes in the 3-compartment sink on top of the dish machine. So this whole new setup back here will allow us to really ramp up production of dishes. The installation wasn't anywhere near what we had wanted. Luckily, we have some great partners in the industry who helped us kind of navigate that, but it was a pretty stressful day. We're still waiting on some new stuff. What we've installed here is quite temporary. We got sent the wrong table. So this table here was supposed to extend out the length of the wall. And the one that we got sent was obviously much shorter than that. And if you see in here, we kind of are very grateful for the solution that we kind of came up with on the fly here together. But this tack weld here along this run was actually, this entire piece was added on because the table itself naturally obviously wanted to rest up inside the dish machine. Well, if that would have happened, half the sink would have been cut off. Wouldn't have been able to spray off dishes. So that was very stressful, the fact that during installation day, we had this entire dish room tore apart, all of our old equipment out, everything's coming in, and quickly realized that what we've got here is pretty much unusable. We've got a lot shorter of a space here, so we're making do with it until our new stuff comes in. We've got about 3 weeks worth of waiting, and that's kind of why you see stuff in all kinds of different areas and no shelves on the wall again, and quite stressful. And then, to top all that off, the end of installation, they go, "Where's your chemical guy?" I said, "What do you mean, where's the chemical guy? Nobody told me to get the chemical guy here." Chemical guy came out next day. We got the welder that came out the same day, thankfully. We were able to put all this together temporarily, but on a $90,000 job, it's definitely not what we paid for. But those are the obstacles that you face sometimes as a business owner, right? My lesson from this is just kind of verify what you purchase is what actually gets shipped out, and you know, roll with the punches. That's all you can do. Another thing we had go sideways this week was our deep fryer. We've got Henny Pennies. These things are the best in the business. They actually have a self-reticulating oil pump on it where it'll keep the grease filtered throughout the shift. Our left unit here went down. We had an ignition failure come up several times, kept coming up. It was actually the piece of that board wasn't fully seated inside of the panel here. So we had to have the techs come out this week and fix this guy too. Another thing went wrong this week, it's Sniper. The pasta cooker on the right-hand side here, the igniter wasn't staying lit, so we had to have that entire igniter module replaced out. Can't tell you the cost of these repairs, haven't got that invoice yet, but you know, it's always interesting when things come up spur of the moment. You've got to be able to have a budget as a restaurant owner to be able to plan for unexpected things like this. I don't expect these to be cheap. This one will probably be in the range of $600-700. This one will probably be in the range of $400 or $500. Struggles of restaurant business. Next up, the oven doors.
What is that? This is the piece that holds an oven door shut when you close a convection oven. So this piece is part of the oven. When you open up the convection oven, right here, this sits inside of there and it holds it closed from a pressure close on these tabs. Well, on this one, it broke off.
Luckily, the piece wasn't that expensive. Wenzel ordered it online. It was like $35 and he'll get it swapped out. Luckily, we've got somebody on staff who's really good with repairs like that. Piece of maintenance nobody thinks about is the maintenance of your grease tank. Your grease interceptor, all the fats, oils, and greases that run through the restaurant, it goes outside to a huge tank. And that's a piece of maintenance. This amazing company that we work with comes out here once every few months, pumps all that nasty stuff out of there. That's what we're doing right now. How the grease tank works is there's a pipe that flows out to the main city street, right? So the grease inside of the line separates from the water and goes to the top. So that grease flows out of an interceptor tube. Grease flows up, out into the tank, and then the rest of the water in that pipe shoots to the city. So it keeps cities, sewers, and drain lines clean and free from grease, or what they call FOG, F-O-G, fats, oils, and grease. Those are all the things that we prepare inside of the restaurant that maybe don't seem greasy. It's maybe just that mixing bowl with a little bit of olive oil in it. It may be a pan of meatballs, right, that we cook meatballs in, and you clean that out, and that grease goes down into your drains. It's, you know, we try and scrape as much possible into the trash, but there is still that residue that is nearly impossible to get off without having a grease tank. So that's why we have an interceptor here on site. In all restaurants, really, yeah.
How much do you pay to have them come out and clean it?
It's about $300. I think they come out every month and a half. So, I mean, it's not a cheap expense, but it's definitely a necessary one, especially for, you know, the maintenance and the upkeep of the city waterways, so. Woo! There is something about that smell. When that thing gets cleaned out, man, it stays in the area for a few hours. It's pretty rough. So I'm sorry to all of our neighbors. It's rough. Thanks for joining us this week on Slice of Life Episode 8. Remember, it's a bad moment, not a bad day. Sometimes things go wrong. It's all about rolling with the punches and dealing with the ambiguity. Until next time, we'll see you around.